Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam or xJawz, and today I'm bringing you guys a Capture the Flag gameplay on the map Havana, and this is a gameplay from the competitive playlist that they recently added to Call of Duty Black Ops. So I know all you guys on the PS3 don't have the PlayStation Network up yet, and subsequently haven't seen this playlist yet, so I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I think about it in a minute here, but kind of cool. In this gameplay, I was actually playing with 3 fans who I randomly met in this game. I just jumped into the playlist, and these 3 guys were in here, and it was kind of funny because I didn't have my mic in at first because I usually never play with anyone, and subsequently I know I've used that word twice already, but you know, I usually don't use my mic, but anyway, when these guys were talking in the lobby, they were talking about how they were hunting for Hutch because I guess Hutch had been tweeting about playing this playlist, and they were trying to find him, and then they stumbled upon me, and they thought that was kind of cool. So I put my mic in a little bit here. You'll see me just kind of freeze for a couple seconds, and I talked to these guys for the rest of the game. But anyway, so the competitive playlist, sorry, I called it the competition playlist. It might actually be called that on the game, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So this is something recently added, and there's, you know, speculation that it was because David Vonderhaar went to an MLG event. That's what I heard Woody's Gamertag say, and it makes pretty good sense. A lot of people have been talking about them having a competitive playlist in the past. Also, you know, the Bare Bones playlist was sort of a step in this direction, but obviously something that not too many people really enjoy that much. But you know, this is really awesome. I'm really enjoying it, and I really like what they did. So if you're not familiar with competitive gaming at all, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the rules for this playlist if you haven't jumped into it already. So basically, they're going to limit a lot of your perks, and they're going to limit your kill streaks, and they're going to limit your equipment. So you're not going to be able to use motion sensors or claymores or anything like that, and you're also going to, you know, not be allowed to use things like Warlord, Second Chance, things like Ghost are obsolete because there are no kill streaks, and you know, obviously no kill streaks at all, so you don't need to worry about UAVs or chopper gunners or anything at all. And that's what really makes it so competitive, is that it is, you know, almost all gunfights, gun on gun action. Also, there's no I believe Willy Pete's or Nova Gas, so you have to choose between flash and stun. Anyway, so the competitive, you know, arena, if you've never played it before, like if you've never played Game Battles or any other tournament website, what you'll find is that most people are going to be using you know, only a few select guns, and this is sort of a problem area for a lot of people, but for people like myself, it's not really a problem area. What you're going to find is that if you go into this playlist, you're going to find a lot of people who are going to be using the FAMAS, the AK-74U, sometimes the MP5, the Galil, maybe the Commando, and the AK-47, stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, 90% of the people who play competitively are going to be using the FAMAS or the AK-74U, and it's the FAMAS probably 75% of the time. And that's just sort of the way it is. Now, I understand a lot of people don't like that, and I see comments galore on competitive gameplay about how all this is FAMAS, and it's not exciting to watch. And I think that's the exact opposite of what's actually going on. I think it's actually extremely exciting to watch because what it does is it creates this even playing field. You're not running into situations where one guy wins a gunfight because he has a better gun for that situation. Occasionally it happens. Yes, I know there's going to be some close quarters occasions where somebody's going to have an AK-74U with rapid fire and the other guy's got a FAMAS, and the 74U is going to be able to hold up a little bit better in that environment. But for the most part, you're going to run into a lot of gunfights that have the same, or that each person have the same gun, and that is what is really awesome about competitive play, in my opinion. I think it's really standard. You only have a couple gun options that you can, you know, choose from if you want to be able to stand a chance against the competition, and subsequently it turns out that, you know, everyone's on an even playing field. Like I said before, because there's no kill streaks, you're not running into situations where one guy gets on a kill streak and gets a UAV for his team, and then all of a sudden it gets a little lopsided because his whole team now has that UAV. Don't get me wrong, I love UAVs, I love all that, but you know, the competitive nature is not to have those things in there. It just creates really lopsided games at times, and it doesn't really give everyone a fair chance. So I understand, you know, the reason why they don't want that in the MLG playlist or the competitive playlist, whatever you want to call it. But I myself, I see both sides of that. But for this, definitely no kill streaks is the way to go. As far as the game modes and the different, options for them, there's a lot of things that are changed for MLG game modes for competitive play. The time for the plant and defuse and search and destroy is one thing that's really popular that I'm sure a lot of people know about. The time that it takes you to actually pick up a flag on capture the flag, it's instantly for the competitive gameplay, but it might not be. I'm pretty sure it takes a full 1 second on the flag. The little bar goes across your screen in public matches. There's a bunch of stuff like that that's different, and it's things you'll get used to. It doesn't make a huge difference. Respawn delays are probably the biggest thing you'll notice in things like domination, and I think that's pretty much it. I think there's already a respawn delay for capture the flag. One thing you're seeing right now on the select screen, I kind of forgot to mention, just because I'm so used to just kind of knowing what the competitive rules are. But if you've never played it before, you're not going to know. Competitive is 4 versus 4. That's what it is. That's what this playlist is. It is really a small group of guys. When you get a ton of people on a map at once, it's going to get really, really hectic, really, really quick, and it makes for a not so great playing experience. And things just usually don't go as well and as smoothly, and plus it allows you to have much more direct communication with your teammates and use that communication to your advantage, because that is huge. So let's talk about some of the things I've noticed while playing the competitive playlist. So one of the things that I was just talking about, communication, that is one thing you're going to notice a lot. You're going to notice a lot of people going in with parties, playing with a bunch of friends or teammates, and they're going to be talking to each other. They're going to be doing their best to go for the win. Speaking of going for the win, you're also probably going to notice a lot of tryhards. Now, listen, this is another thing that a lot of people see as good and a lot of people see as bad. Guess where I am on that spectrum? I think it's good. I really enjoy the competition. That's what it's sort of about. It's a competitive playlist for people who, want to take gaming kind of to the next level. And that might sound really, really stupid to a lot of you guys, but it's just all about challenging yourself and trying to, not make things easy on yourself. I mean, sure, anybody can jump into a game of, team deathmatch with Ghost on and a silenced, FAMAS or whatever and go, I don't know, 30-2. But, how many people can, do really well with the Spectre? Well, take it a step further. How many people can do well when they're playing against actual good players? So, that's really what this playlist is all about. It's about, playing against good people and trying to do well. And you're going to notice a lot of people who are really, really trying to do well. And they don't really care if you call them a tryhard. They're not too, upset over that term, honestly, because it just means that, they were probably doing better than you if you have to call them a tryhard. You know what I mean? So that's another thing I noticed while I was playing today. Gamer tags is one thing that you'll notice is a lot different. You're going to notice a lot less like, Stoner Man 469 or I don't know, Gun Shooter 54. You tend to notice that a lot of people who play competitively, they change the gamer tags to sort of short, concise, sometimes just 1 or 2 syllable things that usually are just nonsense. And a lot of people do that, and you pick up on that. Very, very few people who play Major League Gaming put numbers in their gamer tag. I'm not saying it's not non-existent, but it's might sound stupid to you guys, but a lot of people in competitive gaming change their gamer tags and want it to be kind of nice, and they want it to represent them. I mean, look at all the top teams like Envious and Fear, and I can't name a bunch of ones off the top of my head, but most of them have players without any numbers in their name, and you'll notice a lot of people like that. These are a lot of people who probably aren't very good themselves, but want to emulate what those good people are doing, and are still at the same time trying to do really well when playing this competition, competitive playlist, whatever. So anyway, guys, this gameplay is actually really long here, so I'm not going to play the entire thing. I'll probably jump to the end. We ended up in a tie, and it was really, really intense gameplay. And by the way, to the guys out there who I was playing with, I just want to say, if you're watching this right now, it was a lot of fun playing with you guys, and this was a pretty, again, intense gameplay. Guys, my overall review on the competitive competition playlist, MLG playlist, whatever you want to call it, is that it is definitely a lot of fun if you're into the kind of thing that I'm into, which is sort of taking gaming to the next level, as dumb as that might sound. If you've played game battles in the past, if you've played any tournament website in the past, and you enjoyed it, you'll probably enjoy this playlist more so than hoping you'll enjoy the other public match, gameplays that are out there for you. Honestly, this isn't one thing about, Black Ops that is going to make it the most amazing game ever, but again, it is a step in the right direction, and it does show that they're still supporting this game, and also it's just something new to sort of look at. The maps are like that the same way. It's just something a little bit different that's going to keep me entertained probably for another week, and then I won't really think of it as anything special. That's quite honestly what's going to happen. I'm not going to give this an outstanding review and say, like, guys, you got to get on a playlist, play this. You guys know what it is just from me explaining it. It's fun to play for the next week, and that'll probably be the extent of my enjoyment of it. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like rating. I'd really appreciate that, and I will see you guys later. Bye.